Ladies and gentlemen, moving towards the next topic of discussion, which is MSME. We all know that in a world witnessing continuous and radical innovations, entrepreneurs are developing business ideas that capitalize on the power of technology. Entrepreneurs have the opportunity to offer new products and services to consumers through social media platforms and to use artificial intelligence to measure their impact and reach. Nevertheless, there exists a heterogeneity among digital businesses, where some are entirely tech dependent while others just use digitalization in their marketing and communication operations. Despite the many opportunities that digital entrepreneurs brings, it has also been linked with high risk given the continuous and radical technologies innovations. With this, we head towards a fourth panel, and the topic is MSME entrepreneurs and startups, speed of digital adoption and challenges. And for that, I would like to introduce to you our moderator, Mr. Mayank Singh, MSD Agrotech Private Limited. Please welcome him with a huge round of applause. Everybody all together, Mr. Mayank Singh, MSD Agrotech Private Limited. Very warm welcome, sir. And now let's welcome our all eminent speaker for this panel, starting with Mr. Amit Saxena. Yeah, sure. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Lunch was great, ना? तो मेरे को बुलाया, बड़ी शिद्दत से तालियां किसी ने बजाई नहीं, मैंने बहुत. तो बिफोर आई इंट्रोड्यूस माई सेल्फ जस्ट यही कहूँगा कि आज से 5 साल पहले 26 लाख रुपए का पैकेज छोड़ के स्टार्ट किया था कुछ एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप में, तो थोड़ी रिस्पेक्ट तो तालियों की मैं लेता रहूँगा आपसे. एनीवेज, before I introduce myself and what I am doing as an entrepreneur, let me invite our panelists. So, again, तालियां ज़रूर होनी चाहिए उनके लिए, अप्रिशिएशन तो बनता है उनके लिए. So, yes. Our first panelist is Mr. Amit Saxena, who is founder and CMD of eCoach. Big round of applause for Mr. Amit Saxena. Mr. Amit Saxena is founder of eCoach, a retail finance specialist with over 24 years of experience with earlier leadership roles such as division head and management committee at Citibank's Consumer Financial Division, where he pioneered real finance across India, including an overseas instant. Founder, MD and CEO earlier. He was founder, MD and CEO at KFSL, backed by ICICI Ventures and Bering Asia. He was also MD and CEO at Standard Chartered Bank, NBFC, and MD and CEO of India operations of a globally listed payments and credit solution company, Unimoney, with 350 branches and 4,000 employees before launching eCoach in 2020. Mr. Saxena is an alumnus of Harvard Business School, IIM Lucknow, BITS Pilani and Doon School, Dehradun. Mr. Saxena has won a number of accolades like ACEF Asian Leadership Award, Harvard India Conference, ASSOCHAM NCI Summits, Center for Economic Policy and Research, IMC Chambers, Governance Now and ETGBS, championing digital financing, empowerment and vast potential of small businesses in India. eCoach proposition aims to solve the fundamental problem of inadequate access of capital and infrastructure to over 57 million MSMEs in country in urban and rural market. eCoach aims to build a footprint of 500 locations with AUM of $5 billion. So he is Mr. Amit Saxena in front of you. Another panelist is LK Junjunwala ji. Mr. L.K. Jhunjhunwala ji. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, so if anybody knows him, he's the founder and president, Awok India Foundation. Praveen Kumar Devedi ji is another panelist in this group. Another panelist for this discussion is Mrs. Shweta Roy Srivastava. Ms. Shweta Roy Srivastava. Put your hands together for her, please. Big round of applause. Ms. Roy is having more than 14 years of working experience in banking and finance service sector and having handled project in financial literacy with DFID, Government of Uttarakhand, worked in microcredit department of SIDBI for more than 10 years and handled various other portfolio related to institutional recovery and branch banking. So Ms. Shweta Roy Srivastava. And so we have, these are the panelists. I think I am one of the speakers too, sir. Okay, so to introduce myself, I would like to play a small video, who we are, what we are doing. Garima, can you help me with this? Volume, please.
MSD Group of Companies is a pioneer group founded in the year 2018. A brainchild. MSD Group of Companies is a pioneer group founded in the year 2018. A brainchild of Mayank, Sanjay and Devendra, it promises to bring about a revolution in the areas of agriculture, horticulture and aquaculture with their prolific and inspiring ideas. It all began when the trio left behind their extensive years of jobs in big corporates and MNCs to do something substantial with their passion for nature and agriculture. They are absolutely committed to catalyze the change in these sectors with their vision, strategy and preparation and tilt the balance of life in favor of fitness and well-being across the world. And MSD Group is all set to bring about this vitality. They are excellently managing the 4 sections: agriculture, horticulture, aquaculture and e-commerce. MSD Agrotech has 60 acres of farmlands for horticulture and grows best quality fruits and vegetables. MSD Agro Enterprises delivers these fruits and vegetables at customers' doorsteps via AgriCart, which is MSD's e-commerce brand name. Their venture, MSD Aquaculture, pioneers in freshwater fish farming and currently producing premium quality of fishes via cage culture technology. MSD Group has received many accolades for their outstanding work and developing agriculture sector. Recently, it has been bestowed with the Emerging Company Award by IAF CSR Times. Besides, MSD's new venture AgriCart received Most Promising Startup 2020-21 award from Indian Achievers Forum. Crisscrossing the map with its presence, the group presently is working in Delhi NCR, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka. With a mission to grow into a sustainable agriculture and food products provider, Team MSD welcomes all nature-loving and enthusiastic people to be a part of this agriculture journey for growing together.
Thank you, team. So, thank you so much. So this was our journey. We started in 2018. And I, along with my 2 friends, we left our corporate jobs. We studied and researched a lot about agriculture sector कि क्या क्या कर सकते हैं और कैसे कैसे benefits हम खुद भी ले सकते हैं और लोगों को पहुंचा सकते हैं. So in that journey, हमने काफ़ी कुछ सीखा, डिजिटल इंक्लूजन्स किए, फाइनेंशियल्स, खुद के लिए भी इंक्लूजन्स किए, लोगों को भी प्रमोट किया, बहुत सारे फार्मर्स को इंट्रोड्यूस कराया बहुत सारे सिस्टम्स से, और आज हम ठीक ठाक काम कर पा रहे हैं. So, first of all, thank you so much, all the teammates, all the agripreneurs, all the friends who are sitting here and who are watching us online. And thank you, jury, for giving me the award in the morning. I'm quite happy. Thank you so much. And at last, thank you, Praveen sir and team Avok, for giving me this opportunity and platform to share my views and be a part of this wonderful panel discussion. To begin with, MSME, entrepreneurship और startup, ये तीन बड़े अच्छे अच्छे शब्द हैं जो कि किसी भी entrepreneur या किसी भी यंग जनरेशन के लोगों के लिए मायने रखते हैं. जब 10 से 12 साल, कितने लोग यहाँ पे entrepreneur हैं? Can I see the hands? क्या बात है, वेरी गुड. कितने लोग बनना चाहते हैं entrepreneur? वेरी गुड, काफ़ी लोग हैं यहाँ पे जो entrepreneur बनना चाहते हैं. सो बिल्कुल, entrepreneurship, MSME बहुत कम समय है तो मैं जल्दी जल्दी बताता चलूँगा आपको. इंडिया में लास्ट मंथ तक 77,000 इंटरप्राइजेस स्टार्टअप हो चुके हैं अभी तक, 77,000, जिसमें से कि 107 स्टार्टअप्स यूनिकॉर्न में कन्वर्ट हो चुके हैं. यूनिकॉर्न, डू यू नो, हैव यू हर्ड दिस टर्म यूनिकॉर्न? $1 बिलियन से ज़्यादा जिनका वैल्यूएशन हो जाता है वो स्टार्टअप यूनिकॉर्न कहलाते हैं. MSME में 8 मिलियन से ज़्यादा इंटरप्राइजेस रजिस्टर्ड हैं, 80 लाख से ज़्यादा माइक्रो, मीडियम एंड स्मॉल इंटरप्राइजेस रजिस्टर्ड हो चुके हैं. सो ये जो टर्म्स हैं ये किसी भी एंटरप्रेन्योर को मालूम होने चाहिए. उसके लिए क्या डिजिटल इंक्लूजन्स हैं, क्या फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसीज, आज हमारे सीनियर्स हैं यहाँ पे, हम इनसे सीखते हैं. सो टू बिगिन विद, I would like to ask Amit sir his take on adoption of this digitalization. क्या क्या challenges हैं, क्या क्या remedies उनकी हैं?
Thank you. And just a bit of brief background on eCosh. eCosh is set up as a banking and marketplace platform for small businesses. And of course, I've been working with small businesses for larger part of my career through my various avatars at various companies. And eCosh was founded by me in 2020. Now, the fundamental question that you asked, digitalization for small businesses, MSMEs, startups, and things like that. Now, all these things look very nice, okay? And I've asked this question, many, many times while interacting with small businesses. Maybe it's a, small manufacturer or somebody is making something in, some innovative product, or it may be just a small trader, or it may be your, a regular shop, or it may be a service unit, a repair guy or anybody. So the fundamental question to ask is that why should that person go for digitalization? It's all very fancy to talk about these things. What is it going to help them with? What is the end objective? Why is that person in business? That person is business to make more money. Is digitalization going to increase their income, by 2 times? Like, we often say, okay, double the income in, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, whatever. And on digitalization itself, there are 2 parts to it as per my experience. One is financial services digitalization. So financial services, if you want to make a payment, now payment ecosystem in our country has really developed, as compared to anywhere in the world. So you want to make a payment or accept a payment, all that infrastructure is very, very well available. Again, other part of financial services, say you want to take a loan, you can take it through an app, and it's become, very easy. You want to, the other 2 pieces of financial services, could be managing your bank account. Now, a lot of people are still onto that, not onto the digital banking, bandwagon. But, and then is investments and insurance. And there, I think more has to be done by the manufacturers of those products to make people understand. I don't think digitalization is per se a problem there, right? So that is happening to a large extent, across the country, smallest of units will accept payments, digitally. Loans can be taken on apps, investment, insurance, digital banking. Yes, a lot of accounts have been opened. Maybe more has to be done in operationalizing those accounts. The other piece which I want to come to it is the larger ecosystem. When I'm in a business, what is my end objective? That my produce, okay, I'm producing, say, some garments, right? Or I've made some new product. It should fetch me the best price across the world. So price discovery. So do we have a larger ecosystem for price discovery? Now, in this, there is a great initiative, being taken, by the government, this ONDC, which is, coming, and where, any small business can list their, products online and can find a buyer. And I think that's a brilliant, brilliant initiative, and that needs to be supported by the whole ecosystem. Second is, can I get my input materials at lesser cost? Now, is there a digital ecosystem for that? I don't think so, right? So those two pieces plus information, okay? Information is, power today, right? So do we have information? Does that small business have information on latest trends, latest technologies, government schemes? What advantage can the person take? Now, all these things, I think, through the power of technology and digitalization can be brought to that small business or, to that entrepreneur or to that startup. That will really go a long way in, promoting digitalization as a larger goal and helping the small business or entrepreneur to get a much better, financial, goal as they, set up their business and continue with it. Yeah, so.
So, Amit sir, lack of motivation is what you said. Why is important? There was a time when banking system was changing to computers. My father was also into bank. So जब उन्हें कंप्यूटर चेंज करना सिखाया जा रहा था बुक से कंप्यूटर में आने के लिए, तो ही वॉज वेरी रिलेक्टेंट कि नहीं चेंज नहीं होना. तो देर वॉज अ लैक ऑफ मोटिवेशन. चल तो रहा ही ये काम. तो इस एक पॉइंट को जो आपने भी रेज किया, कैसे दूर किया जा सकता है सर? जो लैक ऑफ मोटिवेशन है लोगों में, क्यों करना है, करना ही क्यों है, जब तक उन पे नहीं पड़ती क्यों?
No, so I think this needs effort from all the stakeholders. I firmly believe that government cannot solve all the problems, in a nation or a country. Private enterprise has to come in, okay? And we have to promote the concept of profit with purpose. That this is not charity. Any private enterprise, who's getting into digitalization or addressing these needs of, small businesses, sure is not doing this for, charity. They're making money. And also making the small businesses understand that, look, if you do all these things, you are going to get much better price, you're going to get much better price discovery rather than selling this, your products to an intermediary who's going to take this and sell it in, some international market and get 10 times price, right? And therefore, that education has to be that end goal. What is the objective? All of us are, practitioners, right? We believe in achieving something, right? And that is what the small business is also trying to do. So if that is explained very well, that look, you're going to get price discovery, you're going to get lesser cost for your material, so please adopt, get on to ONDC, please, right?
Yes, yes. Yeah, you want to please take it.
And also, I will just like to add one more point to Sir, what Sir said, is I think one of the biggest motivation has to be that, it will save your time. It will save your manpower, it will save your time. There are more efficiencies, less chances of errors, but yes, that inertia of breaking through from, being a non-digitized, being on a non-digitized platform to a digitized platform, yes, it takes a lot of effort to be there and to do it.
I think what is very important is that now organizations like SIDBI and also NABARD, what they are doing is that micro enterprises, आज जो छोटे किराना स्टोर्स हैं या जो छोटे रिटेल स्टोर्स हैं, इफ़ यू सी, जैसा कि अमित जी ने भी बताया अभी, ओपन नेटवर्क डिजिटल कॉमर्स जो ONDC का प्लेटफॉर्म गवर्नमेंट का आने वाला है, उसके माध्यम से जितने भी हमारे जो किराना स्टोर जिनको की थ्रेट था कि अमेज़ॉन आने के बाद से डिजिटल होने के बाद और एक तरह से प्रोटेस्ट चल रहा था पहले की बहुत, नाउ इट इज़ ऑल चेंजिंग। वो माइंडसेट बदल रहा है अभी लोगों में और लोग चाह रहे हैं, जान रहे हैं कि ये, और गवर्नमेंट को भी चीज़ रियलाइज़ हुई। दैट इज़ वाई नाउ दिस ONDC नेटवर्क, दिस इज समथिंग विच विल transform the way we we actually buy and sell things. So this is going to be like a very open market, which is what ONDC will do. So digitalization for all these micro enterprises and MSMEs is going to be one of the big game changer, and there will be so people have to actually start thinking like this. So and which is where their knowledge, their understanding, वो एक बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ है। तो अगेन आई विल रिक्वेस्ट श्वेता जी टू ऑफ कोर्स थ्रो सम मोर लाइट ऑन व्हाट SIDBI is doing.
Definitely, sir. A very good evening to all of you and to all the august panelists sitting here. And thank you, Avok, for having us on board for this panel discussion and for giving me an opportunity to be amongst all of you. I'm Shweta Roy Srivastav, Manager, SIDBI Lucknow office. Sir, I have a small presentation. If you know, I would like to run through it. Suits me, sir. Small presentation. So, first of all, to begin with a small apology, the date is November 22nd. We are on 24th already, and that incidentally happens to be the Thanksgiving Day, if I'm not mistaken, sir. So, thank you once again, all of you. And SIDBI has been into lending into, MSMEs from 1990. So we are an institution who was set up under the Act of Parliament, and we are the principal financing institution for promotion and development and financing of the MSMEs in the country. And SIDBI is, largely known for its, we have a couple of major areas where we are supporting. One is we are giving fund of fund support, which is the equity support to the new startups. Then we have the promotion and development activity, which is based out of Delhi, wherein, we are taking all sorts of financial literacy, empowerment, development, promotion and development related programs. What, a great aspect of what we are talking here in terms of financial literacy, having a platform for the entrepreneurs, for the women, for the end users, for the beneficiaries. So we have integrated programs across the P&D department, wherein, we are supporting entrepreneurs with financial literacy. Then we have a direct lending segment, wherein we have various innovative lending models to the various MSMEs. Then a large chunk of the bank is into indirect lending, which is lending to the NBFCs, bulk finance to NBFCs, refinance to banks, which gets channelized to the end users, and we also finance MFIs and the new age fintechs. So basically that's part of the indirect lending portfolio of the bank. And we are also the nodal agency for a lot of government-run programs. We are also into policy advocacy. And SIDBI had, during the COVID crisis, SIDBI was one of the nodal agencies wherein, we had this ECGLS scheme, the Twarit scheme that we had, in which, a lot of benefits and waivers and increased moratorium and loans, without collateral were being given through NCGTC, which were basically guaranteed through NCGTC, which is also a SIDBI outfit. So that is the core of SIDBI, with direct lending being a small part of it, and we are basically a refinance institution in the country. So I have yes, we are an institution with more than 80 branches all across India. And while I came here, so I was just looking at the slide, and I was wondering that what is my target audience. So precisely the presentation talks a lot about various schemes and various policies which we have for the MSMEs. And but I will just give you a brief, a very quick brief on what kind of various facilities we are having for MSMEs. And then being more from a financial literacy background and being connected to it core, I would like to be talking to the audience more on that. So as part of direct lending, MSMEs के लिए हमारे पास लाइक जैसे रेगुलर कमर्शियल बैंक्स हैं, प्राइवेट बैंक्स हैं, वैसे ही MSMEs के लिए भी अ पार्ट ऑफ द डायरेक्ट लेंडिंग जो है उसमें वी हैव अ लॉट ऑफ स्कीम्स, जिसमें जो स्टार्टअप्स हैं उनके लिए है, जिन्होंने नए बिजनेस यूनिट स्टार्टअप किए हैं, जहाँ पे सर बेसिकली जहाँ पे केपेक्स रिक्वायरमेंट्स है, जहाँ पे आपका लैंड एंड बिल्डिंग रिक्वायरमेंट है, आपका मशीनरी रिक्वायरमेंट है, यू हैव सम रिक्वायरमेंट इन टर्म्स ऑफ योर प्री ऑपरेटिव एक्सपेंसेस, योर एडवर्टाइजिंग एक्सपेंसेस, या आप कुछ कोई सोलर रूफटॉप लगाना चाहते हैं टू इंक्रीज योर एफिशिएंसीज. So we also support those kind of fundings. We have tie-ups with original equipment manufacturers, what we call OEMs, all across the country, so that we can provide platform to the entrepreneurs. And जो हम डिजिटल लेंडिंग के बारे में बात करते हैं, या जो हम फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, सो वी हैव टाई-अप्स विद दीज OEMs. तो क्या होता है सर, उसमें जो प्रमोटर्स हैं, जो एंटरप्रेन्योर्स हैं, when they approach us for loan, तो सारा after completing the paperwork, what we do is the disbursements are directly made to these OEM suppliers. प्रोसेस पूरा डिजिटलाइज्ड होता है सर. जैसे हमने कस्टमर ऑनबोर्ड किया, एंड आपकी कोई एक मशीन है विच मे बी यू आर बाइंग फ्रॉम सीमेंस और विप्रो, एंड हमारा ऑलरेडी इनसे टाई अप है. सो यूजिंग द डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म इटसेल्फ, वी आर पुशिंग थ्रू द फंड्स टू दीज to supplier of these machineries, and machines get delivered to the entrepreneurs. So this is, I'm just trying to integrate, how we are talking about financial literacy, we are talking about digital platforms and digital platforms in, MSME lending, and how it is evolving. So this is just a part of it. And then, we have schemes for, for export oriented units. जो उभरते सितारे program है हमारा, वो export oriented units के लिए है. We also provide working capital. So this is just a brief on about, our products and services. The larger emphasis which I will like to lay here is that, जो हमारे जो processes थे पहले, so, with the advent of with the advent of technology, with the technological interruptions जो हैं, plus to be more competitive in the market. We know today that we have NBFCs, like your paisalo.com and fatafatpaise.com. Just so many. एक घंटे में सर आपको लाख रुपए का, 2 लाख रुपए का आपके सिविल MSME रैंक स्कोर के बेसिस पे, आपके फिट स्कोर्स के बेसिस पे आपको पैसे सैंक्शन करके दे देंगे. So, but yes, those are of course for consumer loans, and we are not looking at consumer loans. We are looking at a segment of MSMEs जहाँ पे 10 लाख से ऊपर के लोन है, क्योंकि 10 लाख के लिए तो सर पता है आपको, मुद्रा इज ऑलरेडी इन प्लेस. 50,000 से लेके 10 लाख तक के लोन के लिए मुद्रा इज देयर इन द सिस्टम. सो इस प्लेटफॉर्म पर सर क्या है, लार्ज कॉर्पोरेट्स एक बड़ा कंफर्टेबल सेगमेंट है, मुद्रा लोन्स भी कंफर्टेबल सेगमेंट है, क्योंकि वहाँ पे आपको उतना ITR नहीं देना है, वहाँ पे आपको GST रन नहीं करना है, वहाँ पे आपको बैंक स्टेटमेंट्स नहीं देख रहे हैं, आपको सिविल स्कोर्स नहीं देखने हैं आपको, और सिविल कंज्यूमर नहीं देखने हैं, क्रेडिबिलिटी उतनी ज़रूरी नहीं है. बट जहाँ ये MSME की बात आती है, विच डायरेक्टली इम्पैक्ट्स द GDP ऑफ आवर कंट्री, तो वहाँ पे इट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, जहाँ पे एंटरप्रेन्योर्स, टेक्नोलॉजी, प्रोडक्ट्स एंड क्रेडिबिलिटी हम इंटीग्रेट कर सकें. सो वी बीन ट्राइंग टू डेवलप वेरियस प्लेटफॉर्म्स, जहाँ पे अलग अलग तरीके के हम द बैंक स्टेटमेंट्स, द बैंक ट्रांजैक्शंस, द सिविल MSME स्कोर्स, द बैलेंस शीट्स, द ITR बेस्ड फंडिंग, सो हम ये सबको इंटीग्रेट कर सकें, ऐसे प्रोडक्ट्स बना सकें, सो दैट इट कैन बी ऑफ हेल्प टू MSMEs, नंबर 1 ऑन द फ्रंट एंड, On the back end, we can, and we are already in the process, we have actually rolled it out. हमारे जितने application procedures हैं, application processes हैं, so they are now all digital. So the client onboarding process has also been made completely digital. So ऐसा नहीं है like a traditional bank, you know, you will have to come down to any SIDBI branch office and you will have to log in. एक एप्लीकेशन लिखना पड़ेगा कि सर हमको इतने इतने लोन की ज़रूरत है एंड यू नो आई विल बी नीडिंग XYZ अमाउंट ऑफ लोन टू रन ऑफ माय बिजनेस. तो अभी हमारे पास आधार बेस्ड प्लेटफॉर्म्स हैं सर, जिसमें यू नो हम कस्टमर्स को आधार बेस्ड OTP के थ्रू एप्लीकेशन फाइल कर देते हैं. दे डोंट एक्चुअली नीड टू कम टू द ब्रांच ऑफिस except for you know sending the papers online through their registered email IDs, the GST numbers, the ITRs, the bank statements. They can send it online through emails to us, and then we register the application. And this is an Aadhaar-based OTP authentication process, जिसमें आप OTP confirm करते हैं, and your application gets logged in. And after sanction, the communication for the sanction also goes online. And yes, of course, you know, mapping of the bank accounts and all of those things happen in the process. जिससे disbursements and other aspects become smooth. तो कहने का तात्पर्य सर ये है कि बैंकिंग सेक्टर में भी फ्रंट एंड और बैक एंड पे बहुत ज़्यादा इंटीग्रेशन हो रहा है ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी to facilitate the MSMEs, to save time, to increase efficiencies, and to build more and more credible methodologies. I think you have a call. To build in more credible methodologies जहाँ पे जो सही entrepreneurs हैं, जो सही लोग हैं, उनकी पहचान की जा सके और उनको maximum credit facilities दी जा सकें. In fact, sir, अब we have piloted products जिसमें the entrepreneurs don't even need to come to the branch office for documentation. आप stamp papers online खरीदते हैं, so the purchasing of stamp papers is online. Documentation also happens through NESL, through the online platform, where again through Aadhaar-based OTPs, the promoters, the directors, they can sign the documents, and the entire agreement can be executed. So yes, we've gone to the extent of completely digitizing our credit processing, from customer onboarding, loan application, legal documentation, disbursement, and to monitoring. And so yes, and the KYC process now, even RBI says that the KYC process has to be through eKYC linked and through biometric Aadhaar-based authentications. So that's one part of it, sir. The second part of it is that SIDBI काफ़ी initiative ले रहा है to, sir ने जैसे बोला that, we will also, सरकार सब कुछ नहीं कर सकती है, and we need to have stakeholders, we need to have public-private partnerships to be executing it. So SIDBI is, we have been doing a lot of orientation programs, direct credit में for our MSME customers. क्योंकि I will tell you, sir, entrepreneurs who have even come to us, for loan of about 1.5 crore, we found out कि उनके मोबाइल नंबर्स और आधार कार्ड लिंक्ड नहीं हैं, तो हमारा डॉक्यूमेंटेशन प्रोसेस कंप्लीट नहीं हो पा रहा है, क्योंकि जो OTP जाएगा वो आपके आधार लिंक्ड मोबाइल नंबर पे OTP जाएगा. So at that level, this is the gap at that level. So, when we talk about financial literacy, I think it's a very, very long journey that we have to do. SIDBI also works with microfinance institutions, and having executed a lot of, international donor projects and as well as, inbound projects, we know that at field, जो हम इसके पहले भी बात कर रहे थे, that, women are, microfinance is what's a doorstep banking. बहुत एक्सपोजर दिया है इसने विमेन एंटरप्रेन्योर्स को, जो छोटे किराना स्टोर्स हैं या जो अपने छोटे छोटे काम करते हैं, उन तक जाके क्रेडिट फैसिलिटीज़ पहुंचाई हैं. बट आज भी सर देयर इज़ अ लॉट ऑफ गैप इन डिजिटाइजेशन विच इज़ देयर, एंड इट्स अ लॉन्ग जर्नी फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस टू कवर. But these are just a few initiatives, that SIDBI has taken, that a lot of banks are taking, and there is a lot of digital transformation which is happening in the financial lending space also. That's all.
Thank you very much, Shwetaji. I'll just, request Mr. Amit to, yeah.
So it's really incredible and tremendous work which SIDBI has been doing, and I've been kind of associated, and we've had multiple interactions. Now, one thing which came out of this, and it came to my mind, that one place where a lot of collaboration can happen, and one thing which can be completely transformative for small businesses is the supply chain finance area, right? Now, one of the biggest pain points of small businesses or entrepreneurs is that they do not get credit, while there's always a working capital mismatch, right? Now, I have been working on this for a long time, and in my current avatar, we are trying to put together the suppliers, the wholesalers, suppliers, with the end users or consumers for supply chain, and seeing that by getting everybody on the same platform, can you make things easier, not only finance, but delivery, logistics, quality checks, in everything, right? And that is something where lot of stakeholders need to come together, because there is also a GST angle there. There is of course the logistics, quality, and everything, right? It could be interstate price discovery. You could get, if a lot of say retailers or manufacturers on a platform, they can order from anywhere rather than ordering from their nearest provider, and there's a lot of price discovery and cost arbitrage can happen. So this is one area where everybody can come together, private enterprise, and the government and the institutions, and make like ONDC is being done for price discovery for your produce. Similarly, on the input side, there could be a platform, which could, help the MSMEs or entrepreneurs or, small businesses a long, long way. Thank you.
Thank you. I think it's a very important point that how, we integrate this for the MSMEs to get them help. So before we are closing this session, one liner I would request from each of the panelists here. Three of them, all three are, while two are entrepreneurs and Madam is from SIDBI. What do you think, for organizations which are in the non-governmental space, while profit is the motive for everyone, government of course works for micro-enterprises in many ways to see that how their life becomes simple. So what in one line you think should be done by organizations like Evoke India to help micro-enterprises in the digitalization or financial inclusion space as per you? So Amit, starting from you.
No, I think right now you guys are doing an incredible job, and the most important thing is getting all the stakeholders on a common platform and develop that understanding that this needs to be done, and this is for everybody's benefit. It's not, and I mean, just stepping back, and we talk about capitalism and things like that. I mean, there's a book which says saving capitalism from the capitalists, right?
Correct.
And this is a very famous Harvard prof who taught me, and I am remembering his lecture, and he said, look, this is in everybody's interest that there is equal access to resources or equal distribution of wealth to the society. Otherwise, what will happen, you will have a disruption someday, and which will cause problems to everybody. So if you do not think long term, it's going to be a problem. So you have to make sure that all these platforms are developed so that everybody benefits, right? So that is, I think, what you are doing is going a long way in getting all stakeholders together and developing that understanding that this is for everyone's long-term benefit.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. That's very, very important. I think this is something which is extremely important, that all the stakeholders from, financial world, they should come together and, converge their ideas to bring out the solution. That is very important. हम लोग जब जाते हैं ज़मीन स्तर पे तो कहीं कोई GST का कुछ बता रहा है, कोई चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट कुछ कह रहा है, या चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट तो वो खैर माइक्रो एंटरप्राइज जा ही नहीं पाता है, कई बार जा नहीं पाता है. और तो MSME में भी बहुत सारे ऐसे इश्यूज हैं. तो दैट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट हाउ ऑल द स्टेक होल्डर्स कम टुगेदर एंड डिवाइस अ फॉर्मूला विच कैन हेल्प देम. यस मैम.
I think, sir, policy advocacy MSME promotion में एक बहुत important issue है. And आज भी सर हमारे पास मतलब मेरे पास if I have 15 people coming in for seeking a loan assistance, 15 में से कुछ नहीं तो कुछ नहीं सर 10 से 11 लोग आते हैं ये पूछने के लिए that how do we set up an enterprise, मुझे क्या अप्रूवल्स लगेंगे अगर मेरी ज़मीन जो है मेरे नाम पर है और मैं बिज़नेस प्राइवेट लिमिटेड के नाम पर कर रहा हूँ, तो क्या मुझे मैडम मुझे क्या अप्रूवल लेना पड़ेगा? मैं उस बिज़नेस पे इंडिविजुअल के नाम पर ज़मीन है, मैं उस पर काम कर सकता हूँ क्या? दीज आर द बेसिक क्वेश्चंस. आपका जो एसेट है वो कंपनी के नाम पर होना चाहिए, बिकॉज इफ़ यू आर लुकिंग एट एन इन्वेस्टमेंट ऑफ 8-10 crores, so it is a big investment, and it is a very long term, long horizon investment. So that kind of hand holding, that kind of initial education to this segment of client, मैडम मेरा तो 70% काम जो है कच्चे में होता है और 30 तो मैंने बोला सर आप जितना मुझे बता रहे हो कि आपका टर्नओवर है, इतना बड़ा काम है, 60-70 लोगों का स्टाफ है, तो आपका इतना टर्नओवर है, सम एक्स अमाउंट ऑफ टर्नओवर इज टेलिंग मी. नहीं मैडम मेरा तो समझ जाइए 60 से 70% काम जो है कच्चे पे होता है. आप GST का चक्कर तो जानती ही हैं. So these are very practical issues. People have to be sensitized that boss, if you have to get streamlined, if you have to get integrated into the mainstream, you have to go through the process of GST. You have to go through the process of you're routing your money through the bank account. You have to online integration तो हम बातें करते हैं, but integration तब तक नहीं होगा जब तक हम actually वो platform use करना नहीं शुरू करेंगे. मैं तो सारा काम अपना जैसे तैसे कैश में निकाल ले रहे हैं, क्योंकि अब तो Paytm transactions भी मैप होते हैं, तो आप तो Paytm भी उतना freely नहीं कर सकते हैं. Paytm भी एक X amount of transaction के ऊपर they will need a higher amount of due diligence, a higher amount of KYC. So I think sir sensitization is one area जहाँ पे SIDBI भी काम कर रहा है for the MSMEs, but still I feel it's a long way to go.
Thank you. I think that's very, very relevant and very, very important point, which we also have come across many a time when people come to us for understanding, especially micro enterprises. I have seen, forget about 70%, I have seen people doing 90-95%. Somebody who's making chandeliers here. I remember my auditor, sir, chartered accountant Rajiv ji is sitting here. This gentleman is doing almost 90-95% into cash. So there are people like that, and then there is another extreme where I had gone with HCL Foundation to Hardoi, where a lot of small artisans now, they have been brought into that stage where their products are selling on Amazon. उनका सारा वो माल अच्छे से पैकिंग होकर जा रहा है. अब उनको अपनी यूनिट सेटअप करनी है, तो उनको अपनी फर्म बनानी है, उनको अपना ये बेसिक सीखना है कि कैसे मुझे बैंकिंग, करंट अकाउंट बैंकिंग, कैसे मुझे लेंडिंग करनी है, माइक्रो लेंडिंग करनी है, तो ऑल दैट. सो दिस इज समथिंग विच इज अ बिग एरिया ऑफ वर्क विच वी थिंक हैज टू बी डन. So lastly, I think we have Mayank now, as all of you have seen that the work they are doing in aquaculture in Wardha district, they have been instrumental in including a lot of farmers, fish farmers actually, of that area. While he's from Ghaziabad, he has gone away from the state to set up something in Wardha, and I have seen that place. So I will ask him also that what he thinks that in maybe one line, that the people, especially fish farming, that is what majorly is doing, how these people can also be helped in financial inclusion, or what organization like us can do, because farmers, we are doing a lot of work now. Actually in UP we are doing some amount of trainings and capacity building. A lot of farmer producer companies विच हैव बीन फॉर्म्ड, यहाँ पे कई लोग बैठे हैं, फार्मर प्रोड्यूसर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के बैठे हुए हैं, और हम लोगों ने देखा है कि उनको कंपनी तो बना ली है, लेकिन कंपनी का ABCD भी कंप्लायंस का या उसकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग का, शेयर होल्डर क्या होते हैं, डेट क्या होता है, इक्विटी क्या होता है, वो शायद उनको नहीं पता है, क्योंकि वो शायद किसान थे, किसान से आज कंपनी बन गई, लेकिन उसके बीच में बहुत बड़ा गैप है जो उनको वो यात्रा पूरी करनी है। तो मेरा मयंक जी से भी सवाल है कि इनका अनुभव क्या कहता है, और इनके हिसाब से एक लाइन में ये बताएंगे 1 मिनट में कि क्या करना चाहिए।
द क्लॉज ऑफ 1 मिनट। एनीवेज, तो श्वेता मैम ने जैसे कहा कि मैं उसमें ऐड करूंगा कि मैम एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर में तो ये बहुत है कच्चे का काम। आप हम लोगों ने पढ़ाई लिखाई करने के बाद जब ये एग्रीकल्चर के काम में स्टार्ट किया, इट वाज हाईली अनऑर्गेनाइज्ड, अभी भी लगता है कि ऑर्गेनाइज नहीं है उतना, तो हम इसको करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं ऑर्गेनाइज करने की। बट स्पेशली जो भी फार्मर्स हैं या जो भी एग्रीकल्चर अलाइड सर्विसेज में है, हॉर्टिकल्चर में है, एक्वा कल्चर में है, वो इस कच्चे के काम को ही प्रिफर करते हैं। उनका कैश में ही ट्रांजैक्शन होता है, तो बहुत मुश्किल हो जाती है कभी कभी उनको, क्योंकि हमें अपनी बुक्स बनानी है, हमें आगे बढ़ना है, हमें आगे IPO में जाना है, बहुत सारी चीज़ों में करना है, तो बहुत डिफ़िकल्ट हमारे लिए भी हो जाता है कभी कभी कि उनसे समझाया जाए कि एग्रीकल्चर में, फिश सेलिंग में, क्रॉप सेलिंग में GST का भी रोल नहीं आता है। स्टिल उन्होंने एक नैरेटिव बना रखा है बहुत सारे फार्मर्स ने कि नहीं नहीं टैक्स तो है, टैक्स तो है, टैक्स तो है, डिस्पाइट उसमें नहीं है। तो मेरा ये कहना है कि बहुत समय लग रहा है, लगेगा लोगों को समझाने में, फार्मर्स को समझाने में कि हमें बुक्स में आना पड़ेगा। आज एक छोटी एंटरप्राइज है, कल इसको बड़ा बनाना है, कल उसको और ज़्यादा बड़ा बनाना है। आपके लिए ही बेनिफिट है फार्मर्स के लिए, और अवोक इंडिया ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से या ऐसी बहुत सारी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से यही रिक्वेस्ट है, यही हम एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं कि बहुत सारे ऐसे सेशंस हों जिसमें हम तो समझाते ही हैं, वो भी अपने बहुत सारे प्रोग्राम के ज़रिए लोगों को बताएं, फार्मर्स को बताएं, एक्वाकल्चर के लोगों को या हॉर्टिकल्चर के लोगों को या ट्रेडिशनल फार्मर्स को कि भाई बुक्स में आना पड़ेगा, कच्चे के काम को कम से कम करना है। सो दिस इज़ व्हाट आई वांट इन 1 लाइन, सर।
Thank you very much. I think it's been a wonderful discussion from all the panelists here. And with this, we are closing this panel. And now, before we get into the Thanksgiving and also the mementos presentation, I would request all the people present here is that there are 2 options. One is that tea break is there, and it is also not there. So, so tea will be ready outside. So if somebody is feeling for tea, they can go out and take the tea and come back. Because as you all know that we are running little short or behind schedule. And the next panelist, Regional Director from Reserve Bank of India, sir, is also here. So we would immediately move into the next panel after this. And for, of course, there will be an extended tea session after this 45 minutes of panel, which will be for the BFSI sector. So this is part of the administrative guideline. I thought I'll tell you. In case some of you want to take tea and come back, please come back. So we will have 5 minutes break, and then we will again reassemble for the last session of the evening, which is the valedictory session. And so over to Nikita for you. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. It was indeed a wonderful session. Ladies and gentlemen, now it's time for Memento. And to present the Memento, I request Mr. Praveen Dwivedi to please step forward and felicitate Mr. Amit Saxena. Please give a huge round of applause, everybody all together. Thank you for joining us. Now I request Mr. Rajiv Pradhan to please step forward and felicitate Mr. Mayank Singh. It's an honor to have you, sir. And last but not the least, I request Mr. Sudhir by ONGC to please step forward and felicitate Mrs. Shweta Roy Srivastav. Thank you for your precious time, ma'am.